Welcome back to this program. The Chinese President Hu Jintao will attend meetings between the G8 and emerging economies that begins on Wednesday in Italy. The Foreign Ministry expects the three-day gathering to push for a new partnership between developed countries and the 5 emerging ones. This will be the 6th time that Hu Jintao has attended the 8+5 summit. He's set to meet with various counterparts, government leaders and parliamentary speakers. He'll also take part in business forums on the sidelines of that. The Foreign Ministry says Beijing expects the gathering to promote further cooperation in tackling the global financial crisis and to also strengthen ties between G8 countries and the 5 emerging economies.
We expect the meetings will help raise concern regarding the impact of the global economic downturn, climate change, energy, food security, and international trade.
Well, more meetings this time here in China, where experts from think tanks and international organizations have gathered in Beijing as they discuss prospects for the global economy and new ways to facilitate any recovery. Chinese and foreign political and business leaders are attending the 3-day global think tank summit. Liu Ying reports.
Addressing the opening ceremony, Chinese Vice Premier Li Keqiang said China has adopted a series of stimulus measures in dealing with the global financial crisis. He said these efforts have paid off.
The policy measures adopted by the Chinese government have had initial success. Positive changes have taken place in the economy. The overall situation is beginning to stabilize and proceed in a positive direction.
Li Keqiang said China will continue to step up its efforts in 5 aspects to achieve a sustainable recovery. They include encouraging consumption, investment and exports, developing new and renewable energy sectors, and improving the social safety net. The Vice Premier said the international financial market has shown signs of stabilization, but he said the financial crisis has not bottomed out and its impact on the real economy is still expanding. He called for concerted efforts from international community.
We should continue to expand effective demand and open our markets to each other to achieve stable development. We should also promote trade liberalization and investment, as well as improve the environment for international trade and investment.
More than 900 representatives from over 60 countries and regions are attending the summit. Participants will discuss various government policies in dealing with the financial crisis and ideas of building a new international financial order. The latest manufacturing figures from across the world give hope of an end to the global economic downturn. But is this recovery sustainable? And what more needs to be done to consolidate it? Over the next 2 days, the summit participants are expected to give serious thought to finding answers to these questions. Liu Ying, CCTV, Beijing.
Now, as the world economy continues to slow down, so does foreign investment now trickling into China. Vice Minister of Commerce Chen Jian says Beijing will take up that challenge, but China is also continuing to support domestic enterprises in investing overseas. Zhang Lu brings us that report.
China's foreign direct investment has kept falling for 8 months. For the first time since the 1998 Asian financial crisis, the number of newly set up foreign companies, the volume of contract overseas capital, as well as used overseas investments, all declined.
The global financial crisis has directly jeopardized multinational companies' willingness and ability to invest. That has greatly slowed the flow of FDI globally. The difficulties and challenges we are facing now are huge, but China is stable politically and the economic growth trend has not changed. The acceleration of industrialization and urbanization will continue to enlarge the domestic demand, and that represents great opportunities for foreign investors.
China has been the world's largest recipient of FDI for 17 years in a row. To strengthen investors' confidence, the country will continue to work towards an environment of transparent policies, open markets, and efficient government services. Vice Minister Chen says policies regarding allowing foreign invested companies to issue shares in China are now under discussion. And while capital flow is decreasing, China's investments overseas are gaining momentum.
Chinese enterprises' overseas investments grow very fast. We anticipate there will be great rise in the coming years. Currently, the biggest challenge for Chinese investors is improving their operation and executive skills.
To boost both inbound and outbound investments, China will hold a high-level promotion fair in the eastern coastal city Xiamen in September. The country hopes the fair can inject vitality into the economy as the world's businesses remain in a slump. Zhang Lu, CCTV.
Well, not good news from here either, because China lost more than $50 billion in exports in 2008 due to technical measures put forward by other countries. The General Administration of Quality Supervision, Inspection and Quarantine says over a third of exporters were affected by trade barriers during the year as a whole. Now, China's quality watchdog also says that losses have been growing in recent years. It says the top 5 countries and regions that have affected Chinese exporters the most are the European Union, the US, Japan, Russia, and as you can see there up on your screen, Latin America. Meanwhile, farm produce, textiles, machinery and electronics, as well as food and paper, are amongst the most affected sectors. The watchdog says the technical measures are mainly relating to toxic materials, quality standards and environmental requirements. The agency notes that technical measures are the second biggest obstacle to exports after foreign exchange rates.